Mike Dell's World, number 263 for November 3rd, 2017. This is day 3 of NaPodPoMo for 2017. That's the National Podcast Posting Month. And I did a little more digging about big boy restaurants. I'm kind of a geek, but found out some interesting stuff. First off, the first big boy restaurant ever was actually called Bob's in Glendale, California. And what was the name of it? Bob's Pantry was the name of the place. And one night he made up a double-decker hamburger to make it look ridiculous. Well, it got popular, and he ended up naming it the Big Boy Hamburger. So the name of the restaurant turned into Bob's, home of the Big Boy Hamburger, and later on, of course, Bob's Big Boy. So I'm not going to go into all the little details, but very interesting how it is currently. Back in the day, there were, it was like franchise, kind of like Kentucky Fried Chicken was at first. And those of you not familiar with Kentucky Fried Chicken's franchise model, basically existing restaurants would buy the right to sell the Colonel's chicken. Well, the same thing happened with the Big Boy Hamburger and some of the other Big Boy menus. A lot of the first franchisees, like Shoney's, what was the other? I don't know, there's a bunch of them. And, I mean, a bunch of them. I could list the whole list and all that. And it's very, very interesting how it came together. But turns out that nowadays, and I didn't realize how much of a Michigan and Ohio thing Big Boy was, but pretty much it's Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and there's one in Bismarck, North Dakota, and there's like 5 in Southern California, and that's it. As far as the the original Big Boy restaurants. Now, the funny thing about it is the Big Boy trademark is owned by 2 companies. Big Boy Restaurants International is the chain that's headquarters in Warren, Michigan, outside of Detroit, and then the other one is Frisch's Big Boy Restaurants, and that's a chain headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio. So basically, Frisch's owns the trademark in most of Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. They have exclusive rights in those 4 states, and Big Boy Restaurants International, LLC, has it in the rest of the country. They bought out the original Bob's Big Boy out in California. So those are Big Boy International restaurants out there, the 5 that are left. There isn't a lot of them in California. I was looking at the locations, and then for some reason there's one in Bismarck, and that one's named just slightly different than all the rest of them. That is called Big Boy of Bismarck, but it is now owned by Big Boy International. And then there's Frisch's, who have restaurants in, Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio, and they own the rights to put them in Tennessee, and they are planning on expanding. So that was kind of the interesting part. Now, and I got the official breakdown of the 3 different variations of the Big Boy double-decker sandwich. So Bob's, Bob Wyan was the guy's name. Bob's Big Boy has a toasted sesame seed bun on top, red relish, and a dash of salt, 2 eighth-pound beef patties, a triple-cut bun, American cheese, and shredded lettuce, and 2 blops of mayonnaise. In that order. They show the picture. You get on Wikipedia and look up Big Boy. It's pretty cool. And then the Big Boy system, which would be Big Boy International now, they use quote-unquote Big Boy sauce. And basically it's a Thousand Island variation. 2 patties, triple cut sesame seed bun. Basically it's the same thing as the Bob's minus the relish and mayonnaise. They replace it with Big Boy sauce. And then Frisch's does it completely different. They got the toasted plain bun, no sesame seeds, and they put everything in a different order. And they use tartar sauce instead of the Big Boy sauce or the mayo. And they also put dill pickles on it, so it's different. Yeah, I'm a geek. Definitely a fast food connoisseur, and really, Big Boy isn't really a fast food place anymore. Now I know the original Bob's locations out in Southern California. A couple of them are drive-in or drive-through. And I believe some of the Frisch's now have a drive-through lane down in Ohio. And by the way, there are more Frisch's than there are Big Boy International. So, but yeah, and then there's, what was it? The one in, let's see, in California, you got one in Northridge, Burbank, Downey, California. I guess it's just south of LA proper. Norco, and Calmesa. So, just 5 of them all, surrounding the LA area. But the Burbank one is the most famous one left. Glendale's where it started, but that one's been closed. It moved once and then closed. Yeah, I did a lot of reading. But the Bob's in Burbank's the famous one, and they have the classic car cruise nights once a week, and they actually do have car hop service on the weekend, where most of the big boys here in Michigan and in Ohio and Indiana and all that are casual sit-down places. Interesting, Frisch's owns most of Ohio, but Cleveland and Toledo are Big Boy International. So I guess I didn't know that. I never stopped at the one in Toledo on my way through, but now I know not to, because I like to go get the Frisch's tartar sauce. All right, that's way too much geeking out on Big Boy restaurants. Gave me a killer idea for another podcast. Problem is, I just don't have time to do another podcast. So I'm hoping the bug will leave me before I actually go buy a domain name. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you tomorrow.